What's up YouTube, it's Young Man's Daily Red Pill, back with another upload. I appreciate you guys clicking on today's video, liking my content, sharing my content, and just helping other young guys take the red pill as early as possible. As you know, that's my goal here on this channel, is to help you guys take the red pill as early as possible, go your own way, self-improve every day. I'm starting to notice a trend within society, and it's been going on for quite some time now, but especially since the coronavirus has shut down everything, long distance relationships are really becoming just something that's a part of everyone's life and a part of like the female's life now, especially. You see, before, guys and girls would meet up at nightclubs, bars, restaurants, whatever it is, maybe at work. But now that we have this coronavirus situation, we have men and women that are meeting online, all right? Thousands of miles away sometimes. Sometimes they won't even meet each other, but they still continue to go online and create these relationships that will never come to fruition because they're just gonna be talking online, interacting from thousands of miles away. And on top of that, she has thousands of other guys that she's talking to. So you're not the only one, yet she tells you you're the only one. And this article that I'm about to read from NBC sums it up perfectly because it just shows you how women are delusional when it comes to online dating and long distance relationships. Not all women, but the women that they talk about in this article that they interview, all of them are delusional. And I think it speaks to the majority of women, all right? And I've dealt with women like this that have no idea why they can't attract a certain mate and they can't get this certain man that they're after, but their standards are way too high and they keep dealing with men that they're never gonna meet for the entertainment of just dealing with men. And they have no real intention of ever being in a relationship with this guy. They get upset when a man just wants to have sex. They get upset when a man doesn't really want to get to know you, because you have to realize as a woman, when you're on dating apps, a lot of men look at that in order to just smash. They're just trying to smash, trying to hook up real quick, get it on, and then dip out. That's what a lot of men are on dating apps for. I'd say majority. And if he says he's not on a dating app for that reason, he's lying to you, because that's what men are on dating apps for. The title of this article is Dating During Coronavirus Turned Upside Down Since Everything is a Long Distance Relationship. It's brought long distance couples together and let singles date a million people they'll never meet. When Sara K Runnels used to get a match on one of her dating apps, see, she has more than one, she would do some light vetting and then suggest meeting for a cocktail at a bar down the street from her downtown Seattle apartment. The 35-year-old recently relocated from New York City and doesn't have a car, so proximity was key. She typically limits her matches to those within a 2-mile radius. That was before the coronavirus pandemic prompted nearly every state in the country to tell its residents to stay home and practice social distancing. Now Runnels is finding distance isn't really an issue. Everything's dating long distance at this point, she says. Now, more than ever, I'm more open to this person living wherever. We're not going to see each other anytime soon anyway. You never plan on seeing this person. This is all for attention. Runnels is one of millions of Americans navigating the new dating world in a society now defined by virtual hangouts, working from home, and social distancing. The new normal has changed things for both singles looking for love and those in long distance relationships. Remote working has presented a rare loophole for some couples in long distance relationships, allowing them to isolate together since quote unquote home can be anywhere that has an internet connection. Katie Mitchell, 30, lives in Singapore. Her boyfriend, Lukas, 31, lives more than 6,000 miles away in Hamburg, Germany. Why are you even talking? Why are you dating? The couple was on vacation in early March when the outbreak escalated and it became clear Mitchell wouldn't be able to return home. Now, for the first time since going long distance in March 2019, they've been able to spend roughly 5 weeks together. Remember guys, the first 5 weeks meeting a woman, that's all honeymoon stages still. She can put on a front and be a chameleon and be this wonderful woman, love bomb you with lots of sex, all these different things, and you will have no idea her true intentions and the true nature that lies within, because she puts on that chameleon mask in order to manipulate you, in order to get you in a position like this. And this guy is 5,000 miles away, and it's his first 6,000 miles away, and it's his first opportunity to meet this woman. So let's hear what she has to say. This situation born out of crisis has actually been a useful trial. It's been the radiant light in this very cloudy and uncertain time, Mitchell said. Isn't that great? The situation born out of crisis has actually been a useful quote-unquote trial that will make big decisions about their future easier. Now we know we're not only able to share a life and a home together, but we can even manage to do so when all we have is that shared space, Mitchell said. People who aren't in relationships are turning to dating apps for social connection and moving straight from text chats to phone to video calls. Things that might usually only come after an in-person date. Bumble saw a 93% increase in video chat and voice call usage from March 13th through the 27th. Match Group, which owns Tinder and Hinge, has also reported increased activity among existing users, particularly those under 30, and plans to roll out new video chat features soon, thus giving women more of the opportunity to just stay home and video chat, and men, and simps, and manginas. But for the most part, women love to do this because now they have unlimited access to unlimited men from miles and miles away, thousands of miles away, and they have no commitment, they have nothing to do, just talk all day long and seek attention and validation. She actually loves that more than quote unquote love. She would rather spend time getting messages from many men than just one man. All right, always remember this. Women love the attention of many men, and if they only get the attention from one man, they're gonna think something's wrong with them. So always remember that as a man when dealing with women and their mindset. She won't be satisfied if only one man's talking to her. It has to be more than one man. This is the majority of women. The outbreak has even led to the creation of a new dating app, Quarantine Together, which has launched in late March. This app texts users a daily reminder to wash their hands and physically distance. When they confirm they have, they are sent a new match and given a video chat link, thus wasting more of their valuable time. It's also forced some established companies to pivot. Talia Goldstein, matchmaker and founder of 3 Day Rule, introduced virtual matchmaking 3 weeks ago. She said clients weren't that into it at first, but by week 2, we're loving it. At first, we put everything on hold, but it turns out actually people want to date more than ever, Goldstein said. I think it's because they're vulnerable, their guards are down, and they're really craving a connection. Runnels has seen that firsthand. We're all kind of endlessly just talking to each other, she said. You're kind of talking to all these men online, and you're like, I have 1 million online boyfriends. See, guys, I told you. Knowing you're not going to meet up anytime soon. She has no intention of meeting you on these online dating apps. None at all. She literally is just using them for your attention. She wants to see how many online boyfriends she can have by the time this quarantine is up. How many? Let's see how many thousands of men are lonely and desperate and will feed into my narcissistic ego. This is the reality of Thea Odell, 25, a resident in San Francisco. Knows all too well. She's been sheltering in place since March 17th when the city issued one of the country's first such ordinances. Odell doesn't see much point in using dating apps at the moment, since people can't go anywhere. But even so, she admitted she eventually unpaused Hinge out of sheer boredom. She's not alone. As the days go by, she sees more people on the app. The problem is connections seem to fizzle away since it's unclear when the current situation will change. Anna Escher, 29, also lives in San Francisco and has been more active since the ordinance. She'd never been on a Hinge date, but just had her first over video. Even though she's since been ghosted, she said it was interesting because there was still that awkward moment at the end where one person initiates a next step. When that moment happened during the Zoom call, it was kind of awkward because we were like, oh yeah, we would like to maybe go and walk around San Francisco or grab dinner, but we can't do any of that, she said. There wasn't really a follow-up that made sense. Naturally, virtual dating has been an issue, but in some ways there's been less pressure. Many people reported wearing slippers or sweatshirts and feeling more comfortable connecting since there wasn't any physical reaction. Elizabeth K, 24, said virtual dating has helped her talk to guys more. The separation makes it less nerve-wracking, and there's comfort in knowing it's easier to end a bad virtual date than an in-person one. The New York City resident who preferred to use only her first name for privacy reasons said she's also seen a spike in new matches. There's also a new way to weed out bad fits. It's a serious thing needing to social distance, she said. I don't know how serious the guys are on Hinge, but they're like, oh, but I want to meet you. I don't care about social distancing. If I've ever had a guy say that, I unmatch them. Well, what else are you supposed to be on a dating app for then, women? What else? I'm confused. I don't understand what's the point of being on a dating app if you never plan on meeting these guys, even after quarantine. It doesn't make any sense to me. You're just here for attention. That's all it says. And you're going to find a sucker out there that's willing to spend his downtime and his free time wasting away just looking for matches, looking for online dating relationships when he should be focused on his purpose, should be focused on himself. But instead he's swiping right, swiping left. I think what people want in person is going to change. The outbreak has also given people new priorities, according to Goldstein. I think what people want in person is going to change. They used to come to us with a list of 75 things. Now it's a lot of the intangibles like loyalty and support and a partner I can live with and someone who adores them. I do think people are more open-minded now. Yeah, because they realize the clock is ticking. These are women that are in their mid to late 30s that are trying to now catch someone at the last minute. And it's just really not going to work out well for them because, guys aren't checking for anything serious at that point, you know? And the thing is, it's sad, but a lot of these women don't realize that they gave away their youth to the bad boys and guys that weren't really serious, but now they're trying to tie things down with a beta male provider, and he's not going to be around either. He's not even checking for her, you know? And these women won't realize that. They don't realize what's going on in this situation. Runnels agrees. She's already seen how expanding her location preferences has opened her up to new possibilities like a first date phone call with someone in New York City. I'm hopeful that at a bare minimum, if this doesn't end in a grandiose love story, that it makes me more open to anything, she said. We all have, give or take, the right time now to invest a little more into somebody you wouldn't normally. I think that's maybe the best part of it. And I think maybe that's the worst part of it, because if you think about it, think about all this downtime that we have right now during quarantine. Think about all the hours of your day that you used to dedicate to going to work if you no longer work. Think about all the time you have off. You used to play sports. Sports are canceled. All of these things are canceled because of this quarantine. Yet, unfortunately, a lot of people would rather sit on their phones and swipe left and right on dating apps. They don't realize that the majority of these women that are on dating apps have millions of guys doing this from all over the world now. Before it was hundreds of guys within their city or maybe thousands. Now it's millions and they're thousands of miles away. They could literally be talking to someone in a different country that they never plan on meeting. And then they get upset when this guy wants to meet with them because he obviously wants to have sex. He doesn't just want to look at your face all the time and hear your stories. This is the truth, women. And then you get upset when he ghosts you. And then you get upset because he's being just like the rest of guys. When you had your entire life from 18 to around 25 to secure a good quality man. And now that you've ran out of options and you've hit the wall without realizing it, your options have dried up. So that's what I want you guys to understand. Stay off the dating apps. There's so many better things to do with your time. You could be building a channel on YouTube. You could be investing, learning how to invest. You could be opening up a small business. There's so many different books online, YouTube videos online. Invest in yourself, really, at the end of the day, like I always talk about, rather than spending hours of your life just swiping right on a dating app where these women don't really care about what you're doing. They don't really care. Where these women are literally on these apps just seeking attention and validation, just seeing, like she said, how many boyfriends she can get by the time this quarantine is up. And she has no intention of meeting you. So just keep that as a reminder. Remember, guys, you are the prize. She's not the prize. You have the ability to improve as life goes on. Be sure to drop a like on the video, share my content, and hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. I'll be back with more uploads. Love you all. I'm out.